you need to hear. So we're going to select the piles. Today I decided to do this with you all. So I will put the timestamps. If you want to avoid this part, you will be able to. But otherwise, so group 1, may this reading, group 1, be for the highest good of group 1. May you receive the information you need and may be open to receiving it. Group 1, let's turn these around, group 1. Let's get a couple of calabash messages for this as well. Group 1, may this reading be for the highest good of group 1. May you receive the information you need and may you be open to receiving it. Oh, I got a chime, but it fell. So, it didn't want to come out. Group 1. Group 2. Let's come to you instead. Group 2. Group 2. May this reading be for the highest good of group 2. Group 2. May you receive the information you need. Group 2. And may be open to receiving it. Group 2. Group 2. All right. Group 2. Let's get a couple of calabash messages for you too. This reading be for the highest good of group 2. May you receive the information you need and may you be open to receiving it. Ooh, group 2 got 2 chimes. I tried to get a chime for group 1 and it refused to come out. Group 2, you got 2 chimes. All right. And group 3. Let's use these ones for group 3. Group 3. Group 3. Group 3. May this reading be for the highest good of group 3. May you receive the information you need, group 3. And may you be open to receiving it. Group 3. All right. Let's turn that other one over. Group 3. And let's get a couple of calabash messages for you. So group 3. May this reading be for the highest good of group 3. May you receive the information you need. And may you be open to receiving it. All right, group 3. So there we go with the groups. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. I'm trying to figure out, can I pause on this? I'm not sure. Let me quickly take a picture. I'm not sure if I can pause. So let's quickly take a picture. Group 1, group 2, group 3. All right. So let's get started. Group 1. What do you need to hear? Let's move these other cards out of the way. So we've got group 3, group 2, and I am with you, group 1. Welcome to Spiritual Bridge. This will be what you need to hear. And let's see what the cards have to say to you for today, for this week. Let's see what's going on. Sorry. Let me clear my throat. Right, so we have the name Gerard. This is a godfather type figure to you. A godfather type figure. It could be it's likely to be somebody that has already passed over, and this person wants you to know that they're there for you. A godfather type figure could be a father. It could be an uncle. It's somebody that is a male figure that would have been very close to you. You would have felt close to. Godfather figure. So that is somebody that is showing themselves up for you to let you know that they are there for you. They are supporting you at this time. Yeah, let's put it that side. We have the flying squirrel, leaps of faith. So you're being asked to move. Not necessarily move, to take a step. You're being asked to take a step. And then we have we have Lauren Hill, Zion. I had to clear my throat again. Lauren Hill, Zion is a song. The part that always talks to me the most from this song is a part that says, unsure what the balance held, I touched my belly overwhelmed by what I had been chosen to perform. Then an angel came one day, told me to kneel down and pray, for unto me a man-child would be born. Though this crazy circumstance, I knew this life deserved a chance, but everybody told me to be smart. Look at your career, they said, Lauren, baby, use your head. But instead I chose to use my heart. Now the joy of my world is in Zion. So basically what she's singing about, this was my favourite song at some point in time. I don't know if you can tell, but it really was. So what she's singing about is being pregnant. And at the time that she got pregnant, it was like at the height of her career. They were the Fugees, well, when she released Zion, no, it was on the Miseducation, wasn't it? It was at the height of her career. And everybody told her to be smart. Look at your career, they said. Lauren, baby, don't lose your head. Or Lauren, baby, use your head. They thought that it would be better for her to have an abortion, to get rid of the child, and to continue with her career than it was for her to have the child. But she chose to listen to her heart. She chose to listen to what felt right to her, not what felt right to everybody else around her. It's really interesting, this message, because it feels so, godly, if I can say that. It's like, I always believe the messages are coming from light, because that's where I'm working from, light. So there's always that element there. It will always be there as well, because that's where I choose to work from. But this feels more than that. It feels like you've got the godfather figure, which is already highlighting, this isn't just a father, this is like somebody that was chosen to put light into your life. It's not necessarily what all godfathers do, but it's the idea that this person will look after you should anything happen to your parents. This person is going to give you the support that you need as you're walking through life. And then you've got the Lauryn Hill with Zion, which is don't follow the mind and follow the heart, which for me is the light. The heart is consciousness, is connected to all that is the part of us that is God. And the mind is not that. The mind is logic, reason, question, judgment. It's full of a lot of the knowing that we already have. The heart is all-knowing. They're very different places and they work in very different ways. The heart is working from love. The mind is working from fear. And there's this clear distinction in this reading. Very clear distinction that I'm feeling, that there's the heart and there's the ego. And this feels like you have worked from ego self, which is, it's not a bad thing. Ego, working from ego self is simply working from what you have known before. Ego is everything you know already. So it's not a bad thing. I mean, we've learned lots of things now, so it's a good thing. But the negative that comes out from only working from where you've been, from what you know already, is how do you expand in that place? How do you learn more? How do you grow? That's very difficult. And that's what this feels like. You are being asked to expand, to grow, to take that step, leaps of faith, trusting in the God that's around you, the inner God that's with you, trusting in the heart, which is the God's. Take that step. There's something that you're wanting to move towards, but because you don't know a lot about it, because it's not within your knowing at this moment, it's something you have to learn. There's a reluctance to go towards it because it's something you do have to learn about. And it's one of them things of but and justifications of why you don't want to do this thing, but this thing is moving you towards so much light and love. Let's see what numbers came out. Yeah. I could have said that before I turned it, the 10. Because the 10 is a message of ebb and flow. This is a personal growth message as well. There are 12 clubs on this card, and 12 brings me to the Queen as well. I want to see what this is. The 7, 8, 9. All right. So the 10 of... Oh, this is nice. This is an 8 as well. Ew. 7, 8, 9, 10. Steps. Are you seeing it? I'm going to explain how I got 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a 7. How did I get the 8s? This is a 7. The 7 and a 1 is an 8. This has 9 spades on it. And this is a 10. 10 for me is 1 and 10. It's the same thing. Because 1 plus 0 is nothing. Is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the steps of growth. Spirit message is the spades. You have that with you already. You're being shown that already. And the clubs is showing you this. Work from that heart space, not this logic and reason space. It's good to have logic and reason, but logic and reason can also pull us into a lot of fear. So the 10 is a message of ebb and flow. It's a message where it tells me that you have something, which I've already been to, that you really want to do. This 10 for me, it's not even just a little thing. It's a little bit like Lauryn Hill with Zion. It's like a child feeling, something that is extremely significant in your world. And you want this in your world, but you're struggling to go after it. Ebb and flow is to flow towards it. But when we don't flow, what happens is everything becomes stagnant around us. It feels stagnant. It feels like everything, nothing's moving. if you think of a if you think of a river that's flowing, it will be flowing, it would be fresh water, it would be clean, it would be nice. But if you think of, if there are blockages put in its way, it then becomes stagnant water, it becomes smelly, there's lots of mosquitoes, there's lots that grows in that place. But nobody wants to sit there and relax because it wouldn't be enjoyable. So as much as these blockages are growing things, they're not things that you actually want to be around. They're not things that you want to sit with. They're not your desire. They're everything but your desire. So this is a big desire. The 10 is you've dreamt about it, thought about it, daydreamed about it, fantasized about it. You've done a lot of work into this thing that you want. This thing will be something that benefits you personally, not just in like personally as in you get somebody from it or you get money from it. This is something that you physically grow from, not necessarily your physical body is growing from it, not that, but you are growing from it. Energetically, you're growing from it, I should say. Energetically, you're growing from it. You are changing frequency because of this thing if you move towards it. So the 10 is you have this thing, but you're so scared to go after it that you're not taking them steps towards it. It's a bit like if you wanted to go on a Caribbean cruise and you get to Miami and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is going to be amazing. And you get on the boat and then they start lifting the anchor and you're like, no, I can't go on this. And you start having, but what if the boat sinks? But what if you crash? But what if you get burnt? But what if you fall into the sea? But what if, but what if, but what if, but what if? And the what ifs don't stop. They don't stop. So you're just held in place simply because the what ifs are holding you in place. This is very interesting as well because you also have the 7. This is like such a compound message. Is that the way to say it? It's like a message that has been folded up very nicely, and it, as you open it, it's very easy to read the message and it's all going to the same place. So the 7 is, as I mentioned, the spades are spirit message for me. They are the universe directly speaking to you. I think of them as feathers, and when I see feathers, I always think of spirit being around offering a message. So the 7 is a message of perseverance and patience. Perseverance, you're good at. You're good at putting work into something. So, for example, if I go back to the 10 with the Caribbean cruise, okay, you've packed your cake, you've decided to go on this cruise, you've searched for cruises that you want to go on, you've found the one that you want to go on, you've booked the one that you want to go on. You get to Miami with all your cases packed and everything, and you get to Miami, you get on the boat. You're very good at doing what you need to do to get to where you need to be. It's once you're there, that's when the chaos then starts for you. And I feel like what's happening with you, this chaos that's going on, once you get to the point that it's literally just one more step and you're there, I feel like what happens for you is the perseverance, as I mentioned, you're very good at. You do put the work in. You have the action mentality to put work in. The difficult part for you is you are putting the energy, perseverance, effort into this thing that you're creating, but you don't necessarily trust in what you're creating. So the idea of the cruise is, yes, you get to the point of getting on the cruise, but are you actually able to go on the cruise, or are you just on the ship? Do you get to experience the cruise, or did you just get to the ship? So the 7 is the perseverance. Yes, you got to the ship, but now do you have that patience to allow the boat to go off and enjoy the rest of your trip without you needing to do the work? All you need to do is sit down and relax. The boat is doing the job for you. That's the patience, allowing the boat to do that for you while you sit down, relax, sit by the pool having a pina colada, iced tea. Yeah. So the 7 is a very frustrated energy. It's somebody that feels like they've put a lot of work into something that they really want, which is the perseverance, but they don't feel they're getting anything out of it. They're not seeing the physical evidence of the energy that they've put in. So you've done a lot of work, but you're not necessarily seeing the results of the work that you want to see. And because you're not seeing the results or the expectations of what you had, it feels like nothing is happening. Nothing is working. Nothing is moving in the right direction for you, but that's not true. You've done the work towards it. After the 7 comes the 8, the manifestation of it. But what's happening with you is the what ifs are struggling, are stifling. They're not struggling, they're stifling the patience. The perseverance, because you're in action with the perseverance, you're good at it, but there needs to be being good at not taking action as well. The being able to be, the knowing that you've done what you can do, and having the allowance of this energy that you've put into it, this good energy that you've put into it, this energy of knowing that what you've done is working, you're trusting it, you believe in what you've put in, and you believe that what you get out of it is going to be something beautiful and amazing because you have done the work to create that. I feel like a lot of this battle for you will come from the 9 and the 12. The 12 is the Queen, as I mentioned earlier. The 9 is on the 7, the 9 spades. This tells me that you're someone that's been let down a lot. And because you've been let down a lot, you work from a place of, but what if this happens? But what if this happens? Going back to the 10. What if they let me down? What if I'm cheated? What if they steal from me? What if the what ifs can go on forever they can go on. So the 9 is, it's like you have this rucksack on your back, and the rucksack is full of traumas that you've experienced from other people, and that made you become extremely independent. So you kind of locked yourself, withdrew yourself within yourself, so that you didn't get hurt as easily by other people. But in that process of you withdrawing yourself, what you're doing is saying you don't trust. You don't trust. You don't trust yourself. You're not trusting other people. You're not trusting the universe. There's no trust. And the 7 relies on trust, because without trust, we do not have patience. We don't have patience. When we think something is not going to happen, we have no patience behind it. There is just pure frustration around it or anger, but not trust. So this rucksack is really what is holding you back. This rucksack is the one that is stopping you from taking these leaps of faith. And this rucksack of trust, I feel is coming from the Queen, which is an energy of needing to feel needed, needing to feel validated. So I feel like you haven't really had people in your world that gave that to you. And that's one of the reasons why I feel that you have a lot of these emotional baggage in this rucksack, because you haven't had the emotional support you would have liked. So you became this not the giver, you became the carer. And the carer that you became was to put your focus onto other people, not yourself. And when you put focus onto other people, you feel really good. But what happens with that is, because you're not giving that to yourself, you don't always feel good. You feel run down. You feel taken advantage of. You feel used, which brings you back to the 9. The Queen has a problem with validating herself. So because she doesn't validate herself, she's always looking for that outside of herself. She needs to feel useful to other people to feel validated. So when she doesn't feel validated, and that can be for any reason around any subject, but when she doesn't feel validated, she will not feel enough. And because she doesn't feel enough, she moves into that rucksack of trauma. It pulls her down even further, and she gets lost in the withdrawal of feeling alone, feeling like nobody can help her, feeling like she cannot ask for help, feeling like everybody is just out there to hurt her. This is where you're coming from. It's where you have been. And when I say been, I don't mean been last week. This is not a last week thing. This is from growing up. From growing up, these were certain traits that you took on, a certain personality that you took on because of what you experienced. But that personality that you took on was a personality you took on. It's not a personality that is going to be with you forever. It's not a personality that you even have now. The likelihood is that it's not. You are somebody different now because a lot of time has passed. But what happens is when we carry that rucksack, we're still working from the same mindset of where we were. Doesn't mean we're the same person, but you're working from that same mindset. And because you're still working from that same mindset of that trauma, you're struggling to move steps, one step at a time, just one step at a time. There's all of the what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. So how to get out of this? It's really simple. Validate yourself. Take yourself back to that queen energy. I am amazing. I have all I need. I am achieving all I desire. I love the life I live. I love caring for others, and I love caring for myself. I love nurturing self, and I love nurturing others. I love moving beyond my own knowing and learning new things. I love discovery and experiencing, and I love trusting in the universe and all that it brings to my world, because it brings so much amazingness. It brings everything that I'm looking for. It brings the manifestations that I've put my energy into. And all I have to do is trust in the steps I'm taking. Now the joy of my world is in Zion. Zion for you is whatever that thing is. Zion for Lauryn Hill was her child, but that doesn't mean that it's your child. Whatever this thing is a representation of your child. Well, the Zion is a representation of that baby, that thing that you are creating. And that thing that you are creating will be your joy, the joy of your world, if you allow it in. When you allow it in. Group 1, thank you very much for allowing me to do this reading for you. It's very beautiful reading. It's very, like I said, it's very forceful in how it's speaking and what it's saying. Very, very, very forceful. This godfather figure that you have, I feel, was somebody that had a lot of wisdom and had a lot of impact in your world to help you with these steps, these little steps to take to move beyond self-limitations, self-doubts. Yeah. So have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself. And I will be back on Thursday. Bye-bye. Let's drink a little bit of water. Okay. Group 2, welcome. Today's pick a card is what you need to hear. And let's see what messages come up for you. So we have 2 chimes that come out. We have the dolphin, and we have the 4-leaf clover. These 2 chimes, I feel like, I mean, the 4-leaf clover is about luck, isn't it? And the dolphin, for me, I always think of the dolphin as very sociable, friendly, happy. There's like a very happy energy within these 2 chimes, now a very uplifting energy. So I feel like your world is being uplifted. There's something happening in your world that is going to feel joyful, happy, celebratory. Something that feels like it's lucky, but it's not that it's lucky. It's, for me, there isn't luck. There's the energy that you're in and what you've been sending out. So if you've been sending something out that you're creating, and you're in a positive energy, you're in a high vibrational energy, then that will come back to you, that thing that you're creating. So I don't actually believe in luck. It's about what you are manifesting, what you are attracting. So I feel like for you, you're doing a really good job of attracting the things that you want. Or you're getting better at you're getting better at manifest. Exactly. Look at this. Look at this. You got the pig. Financial abundance. That's what I'm talking about. Whoa. Yeah. Let's see what this one says. I mean, there's nothing I can say about financial abundance. Look at that. Look at that. We have the jellyfish. The protective umbrella. The protective umbrella. The protective umbrella is, I see the jellyfish in 2 different ways. At the moment, I'm seeing it as you are protected. You have the kind of jellyfish is the universe for you. And there's nothing that can fall on you outside of this financial abundance, and it's falling from the umbrella. Because you are protected with the umbrella. So it's falling from the umbrella. All of this amazingness is falling around you. Let's see what the cards say. The ace. I'm going to turn them all around. So let's see what they all say. The ace. When I was shuffling the cards, there was something that came for group 2. It was a pain here in the 3rd eye. So I feel like for you, you are expanding with your 3rd eye. It's not, for you, it's not just about what you can physically see with your eyes, but you are learning to be more intuitive, more trusting towards things that you can't see, and trusting the signs that you see along the way to help you know that something's coming without needing to see the actual thing. I feel like this ace, an ace for me is about a rebirth. So I feel like this ace is this new way that you are experiencing life, experiencing what you see, experiencing how you feel around what you see. I do feel that this rebirth is going to be about opening your heart. It's like so funny. All of a sudden, all I saw was green, the card green, my candle green. It was just like a big flow of green, which showed me that part of this rebirth is around opening your heart up. Open your heart to, not to me, but opening your heart up. And also, this for me is the 3rd eye. Your intuition becoming stronger. And I feel that these ones, the kind of joy of life, the abundance of life, the abundance of finances, the feeling of luck in your life, I feel that that's coming from this rebirth. When an ace comes out, there's something that's happened in your life that has come out of your life. It could be somebody passing. So sorry if that is the scenario for you. When people pass, or when something comes out of our life that we're attached to, it can be very difficult to deal with these emotions. But this is asking you to look at what you're moving towards, not what you've left behind, not what has been left behind. Because a rebirth is not only for the person that has passed on, if this is somebody that's passed on, because it doesn't have to be. It could be that you've changed jobs. It's something significant that has been let go of. So the ace is a rebirth, but it's not just, if somebody passed away, it's not just that that person is being reborn into spirit world, but it's that you are having to be reborn here. Everybody that knew that person is being reborn here in physical world. That bring changes for you, that help you to grow from this experience. The Queen is so active. The Queen is a 1 as well. So the Queen, they're both spades as well. Isn't this interesting? This is 4, 5. Actually, this is 6. 4, 5, 6. This for me is like a 1-1 at this moment, because the ace is a 1 for me and the Queen is a 1. The Queen changes. The Queen is a 1, but she's also a 12 for me. But at this moment, she's a 1. So that means this is 11. The protective umbrella, the 11 is about protection. It's about being guided. It's about trusting in the guidance, feeling love, knowing that that support system is there for you. The Queen, so the rebirth. Yeah, I do feel the rebirth will be for you to, it is around you having more coming to you. But I also feel like part of you didn't feel like you really deserved. This is interesting, because this is like a Jack energy that I'm talking about over the Queen. So it's very interesting for me what I'm saying, but I'm flowing, so I'm just going to go with it. So the Queen is, she's somebody that needs validation. She's somebody that needs to feel useful. Somebody that has seeked validation from other people because she never felt useful or good enough without the validation from others. It was like, as a child, what would have happened? You'd been in an environment that you were neglected to a certain degree. You didn't get the attention that you wanted. And because of that, it meant that you started looking for that attention from other people. We're never going to get the validation we need from other people. You can get some of it, but really, it's always going to be a struggle. So as time went on, you became a carer. You became the person that did become useful to other people because you didn't want to feel neglected. You wanted to feel like people needed you. And the way to feel that people need you is to be there for people. So you became the carer. And in becoming the carer, it meant that you put yourself to the side. You focused on everybody else other than yourself. So there would be times that you would have these moments where you feel used and abused because there's something around you that is making you a bit insecure. Somebody hasn't validated you and you're feeling quite insecure. And with that insecurity, you drop in vibration. And when you drop in vibration, it becomes almost like an explosion with the Queen. She attacks. She It literally is an explosion. It's like, what does she have to do for people to be able to appreciate her? And she goes into this place of nobody appreciates me. People are just using me, abusing me. They're taking advantage of me. And that's how she feels. In that place, there is no abundance. In that place, there will feel like no protection, because that place is kind of a place that we're putting ourselves in, or the Queen is putting herself in, and it's simply because she's not dealing with herself. She wants other people to deal with her, make her feel good, but not dealing with herself. So I feel that part of this rebirth for you will also be around how you deal with yourself, how you give yourself the attention you need, how you give yourself the validation you need. Whether you tell yourself you're good enough, or good enough with money, or you go shopping and you spend money and then you're telling yourself off about how much money you've spent, that is not helping you to become financially abundant. It's kind of putting yourself down rather than picking yourself up. This rebirth is around picking yourself up, nurturing the plants, nurturing your intuition, so that you don't need to only focus from these eyes, but you're using a different pair of eyes, a different perspective. This is like a really big rebirth for you. This is going to be extremely uncomfortable for you, because you're becoming someone that you haven't been before. And when we're becoming somebody we haven't been, it takes a while to get used to the person you're becoming. The same way it takes a while if you just meet somebody. I mean, there's some people that you just meet and you're just like that, and it's like you're just flowing with each other. But the majority of people, that's not what happens. The majority of people, it's a little bit uncomfortable, and it takes a little bit of time to start chatting and have conversations, or to get into a deeper level of conversation. And I feel like that's what you're being asked to do with yourself. Go into them deeper levels of conversation. Understand yourself better. Stop distracting yourself with other people and caring for other people, and start putting some of that focus into yourself, into how you feel about things, into nurturing yourself, into trusting yourself, so that you're strengthening your third eye, your ability to see from different perspectives. Yeah. The Joker. It's another one. 111. These are all roots. This is why this is going to be extremely difficult. Not difficult. Difficult's the wrong word. Is extremely uncomfortable. This is your ego being challenged in every way possible. This is the rebirth of your ego that is challenging your ego. This is the Queen, which is challenging how you feel about yourself, where you need validation from. And the Joker is all about control. It is green, and I did mention the green earlier. It stood out everywhere around me. It was just green. So, and when I mentioned the green, it was about allowing yourself to open your heart, allowing yourself to open your heart to this financial abundance, to the help that you receive, to the protection that you have, to this rebirth that you're experiencing. Open your heart to yourself, to nurture yourself, to validate yourself. The Joker is a message of controlling control. It's somebody that would have been raised in an environment that was quite controlling, and that's evident from the Ace and the Queen as well, because once we deal with the ones, the roots, the ego self, that's the ones for me, ego self. Ego likes control. It wants control. Ego is comfortable when it knows what's happening. It's not comfortable when it doesn't know what's happening. At the moment, you're in a place that you don't know what's happening, because you're changing. You only know where you've been, not where you're going. You can have an idea of where you're going, and you can have an idea of what you're creating, but you might not necessarily know how you're getting there. You might not necessarily feel like you're the person that's able to get there at this moment. I'm going to give you an example of this because it just came to me and it makes a lot of sense to what I'm saying. So there was one day, I'll give you a little backstory. I am not somebody that was ever able to speak in front of people. I became mute. If there's like 3 other people there, like there's a group of 4 people, I'm one of the 4, I can have conversations, and I'm good at these kind of conversations, or one-on-one, even better. But when there was more people around than 4 people, I literally become a mute. I don't have a lot to say anymore. And I really struggled with speaking in front of people. I didn't even speak at my own wedding because it was difficult for me to speak in front of the people, even though they were people that my husband and I really loved and wanted there. So it wasn't like, yeah, but there was nothing there other than love. But still, I struggled to speak. I didn't speak at my own wedding. One of my best friends got married. I actually introduced her to her husband, and she wanted me to speak at her wedding. I couldn't speak at her wedding. I actually have regret over that because it would have been nice for me to have said something, but it just wasn't possible at that time. So years later, I am shown constantly through the third eye, like you, that I am moving towards becoming a public speaker. For me, that was like, oh, what is this? What is this? I can feel the anxiety in me as I'm saying it, and my eyes are watering, my nose is, what is this? A public speaker? Are you serious? Are you serious? And it's not anybody that told me that. It was just what I was being shown, not by people, but by the universe, through myself, through what I was being shown. And it was something that once I was shown it, I went to my husband and I said to him, I'm being shown that I'm going to become a public speaker. And he said, he stopped for a moment and said to me, but do you know you have to speak in front of people to be a public speaker? And I said, yeah, of course. Of course I know that. But I know I'm not ready at this moment. I know that it's an impossibility at this moment. But I know with everything I have, that's what I'm moving towards. That is what I am moving towards. And I can either avoid it, which is going to be resistance, because when you can feel a guidance and when you're moving towards that guidance, you're open to it. You're moving in love, you're moving in flow. But when you're resistant towards it, that's control. That is the control. So I knew that there was no possible way I was becoming a public speaker on that day or the next week or even the next year. It wasn't possible. But I knew it is possible for me to become the public speaker. It just wasn't possible at that moment, but it wasn't impossible. It's not an impossibility. And the only thing that would make it become an impossibility is me deciding that I can't do this. Control. There's no way I can do this. How am I going to do this? It's not possible. There's no way possible that's happening. Control. But it has happened. I have spoken in front of people. What happened once I'd made that, once I'd come to that realization that this was where I'm moving towards, and I spoke it out, somebody offered me a job randomly to work with children between 3 and 7 years old and teaching them English. And I was like, I'd been offered this job, but I'd kept saying no, 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 no. But once I'd spoken this, this is what I'm becoming, and I was offered this job again, I sat with the job offer, and what was shown to me was, you're not very good at talking in front of people, and it would be a good practice to start talking in front of people, to get that confidence, to get that, the ability to stand in front of someone and be able to speak. So I thought, well, what better way than with children? Because children are not adults. Although they're very judgmental, it's different. There's an innocence about them. It's different. So I decided that would be the best thing for me to do. So that's what I did. And I'm like a different person now to then. When I first walked into the class, it was, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But practice makes perfect. No, we become better at everything that we practice. And that is the ego. That is, are you allowing your ego to bring you to these new places, the unknown places that you're able to practice in, to develop yourself, to nurture yourself, to build yourself up, to empower yourself? Or are you working from a place, but I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, I don't know. When I hear myself say I don't know, for me that's ego. And it's a very particular part of my ego, the ego of defense. It's a very defensive part of the ego. And that particular part of the ego, the Joker is very aggressive with. So it's not about I don't know, or I can't do, or how am I going to do this? It's about the allowance of bringing yourself to this new place, to being comfortable in the uncomfortable, to understanding that you are changing, and that the things that are changing within you are important changes to bring you to pure trust, love. The message for the Queen is you have all you need. The message for the Ace, take a breath. It's the Ace, it's somebody that's like, it's interesting because that was my feeling for number 3. It's somebody that is quite anxious with the Ace. And there is a lot of anxiety here because the Joker is also somebody that's very anxious because they feel they need control. But this is all about you understanding that you are in control simply of yourself, how you feel, what you give to yourself, what you think, what you're listening to, what you're paying attention to, what you're talking about. You are in control of all of that. And as you're walking through this new rebirth and these changes are being created around you, this is about you creating an allowance of these changes to happen without so much focus put into, but I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. And just trusting that as you take each step, it will be highlighted to you the next step and the next step and the next step. And you may have the big objective, and the objective for you is that you are protected and that you are going to be financially abundant if you're not already, because you might be, yeah? But it's about you creating that allowance within yourself to know that you're going through these changes and have an acceptance of these changes, so it allows you to go through them comfortably, or comfortable being uncomfortable. Comfortable in the uncomfortable. Yeah, I hope this makes sense. It's a really big message, really powerful message. I hope it makes sense to you. And I bid you a wonderful day and beautiful new beginnings, because this is beautiful, beautiful energy. It's so much love that's coming out, an empowered energy that's coming out, full of beautiful intuition and help to show you where you're moving to if you open yourself up to seeing it. Not looking through these eyes, but through your intuition, your third eye. Okay, take care of yourself. Have a wonderful week. And I will see you on Thursday or next time. Bye. All right, so now we have, so these ones, yeah. Put them away, drink some water. Welcome, group 3. This is your reading for today. You chose group 3, pile 3, for the reading of message you need to hear. So what is that message? Let's see. Let's investigate. So we have the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower for me is a mixture of things, and I'm feeling it as a mixture of things as well, so I'll use what I feel. The Eiffel Tower for me, it represents traveling, so there could be some travels that are coming up for you, but it also represents a gift. So maybe you're gifted a holiday. Wouldn't that be nice? Woo! I don't mind. Ooh, I'm open to receive. That would be nice. So you win a holiday. But there's some travels and a gift around that. It doesn't have to be the same thing. The gift doesn't have to be a holiday. But that's the way it feels. We have the number 16. The number 16 tells me that there is energy being put into, or you're being asked what message you need to hear. You're being asked. I'm always talking about this pole, and the number 6 for me is this pole. The number 1 for me is the roots. The roots are your ego. So the 1 is the roots, your ego. And what it's showing me is around the 6, which I always think of it as a pole, is planting seeds. So with the roots, are you planting the seeds in fertile soil, or are you planting the seeds in infertile soil, however you say it? Which one are you planting your seeds in? Are you planting your seeds that they're able to expand and grow? Or are you planting them in a place of desertion, that there's nothing that can happen? It will shrivel up and dry up. No plant growing. I'll give you an example. So let's say we have this holiday as an example. So, I love holidays. I love traveling. I love meeting new people, trying new foods, exploring, seeing different buildings, different cultures, different clothes, different ideas. I love traveling. I really, really love traveling. I love exploring. I just love the going out and just seeing different things and being exposed to different things. I love it. I love it. Or we have the negative side of it, or the limited side of it. Oh, I hate going to the airport and all of that. going through the it's just annoying, and it just takes so long, and I find it really annoying. And I hate it when I go on holiday and it's always raining, and you can't do anything because it's always raining, and I hate it. When I went to this place last time and there were just horrible people, and I hated that place. It was horrible. The people were horrible, the food was horrible, and everything was horrible. What one feels good? And we can all have both experiences, but what experiences are you expanding on? What experiences are you growing? What experience is it that you're putting energy into? Because if it's here, I didn't like all of whatever it is, then that's what you're putting energy into. That's what your roots are sinking themselves into. Is that really what you want to be sinking your roots into? Or do you want them to go into, I love to travel, I love experiencing, I love all that brings? Because that's expansive. That's allowing this to come to you. It's allowing it to come to you in a way that will feel good. But if you're here, not to say it won't come to you, the holiday might come to you, but it's going to be a holiday that you hate. It's going to be a holiday that you're not interested in. It's going to be a holiday that makes you feel bad. What one makes more sense for you to walk forward with that is going to create what it is you want to walk forward to? This is interesting. With the Eiffel Tower, it's like a tall building, no? And we've got the woodpecker. Stand tall in all your glory. I'm going to open the other ones and see what all the messages are saying. Stand tall in all your glory. Wow. The light blue, express. Light blue, throat chakra, express yourself. Be honest with yourself. Very similar to what I'm saying about the 6 with this pole. There are different ways of expressing yourself. There's a different energy that comes from how you express yourself. If you're standing tall in all your glory, you're coming from I love to travel. I love different cultures. I love. Not from there. Express is allow yourself to really feel what you feel without telling yourself off about what you feel. We have a name, Ralph. Oh, look at that. The meaning of the name Ralph for me, because it is a keyword for me, going or moving away, and emotional healing. Going or moving away, and we've spoken about the Eiffel Tower with holiday. It could be moving though. And emotional healing, stand tall in all your glory. So you're letting go of limiting beliefs about self. That's the growth that you're experiencing with this pole. I use the holiday as the example, but I feel it's you that's growing. And through your own growth of confidence, of understanding of self, of building yourself, is creating this move. This move. Look at this. This is so beautiful. And we have fire. Shine bright. Shine bright. Stand tall in all your glory. Shine bright. Express yourself. Moving away. Wow, let's see what these say. Yeah. Self-reflection. It does feel like that's what you're experiencing. Definitely. Because of everything that's come out, really. It's all kind of about you moving towards a more confident version of yourself. The world is your oyster with the goldfish. The world is your oyster. And what's the last one? Time for some action. The colours of the cards caught my attention. This one, it has this red bit here. It has a red bit in its fin. I feel the red for me is about your stability. It's about the foundations that you're laying. This has so much red in it, but it also has yellow. And yellow for me is about the physical body, how you perceive self, how you perceive your physical body and yourself. The yellow would be about your confidence of self. It's moving towards the red. It's entering green, which about loving self, so that these firm foundations are set firmly for you to be able to love yourself, be comfortable with self, with all of the yellow. In a new, in this little fly that decided to come. It's like got my attention now. And then we have the boxer dog, again, walking towards all this red. I feel like with all this yellow behind, or still within it, it's a process that you've experienced, you're experiencing, and you're coming out of. Time for some action. I feel that you're moving towards this very firm idea of self, this belief in self that you do have this. I am good enough. I am light. I do shine, and I do a really good job of it. The world is my oyster. I can move towards anything I want, and I am open to receiving what I want, because that's been the problem for you. I feel, I don't feel necessarily that, I mean, there has been that you haven't particularly been loving yourself in the best way walking forward so far. There has been a lot of emotional healing that you needed to experience to be able to get to this point of, I deserve better than what I've experienced so far. I definitely deserve more love, more joy within myself, more confidence within myself, more stability for myself. Them roots deserve to be strong and firm in the soil as I make my choices and move towards the things that I'm moving towards. And as you're walking forward, you're creating this whole new world for yourself. And this time for some action is you taking these actions from this empowered place. So if you're not feeling empowered and you're having a moment of lack of confidence or lack of your roots being firm, don't do any action. Don't take any action at that time. Take a seat. Bring yourself to a place that you're giving yourself that empowerment. You're lifting yourself up. You're being your best cheerleader. This is very Jack energy. You're being your best cheerleader. You're giving yourself the love and the guidance and the support you give to everybody else. And start giving it to yourself. And not start giving it. You've already started that. You've started that process already. But keep on giving it to yourself. Keep on. Look at this. Look at this. You've got shine bright. And look at this. Can you see all these lights, these rays going through this toad frog? Cane toad, sorry. Can you see all the rays shining through it? Shining bright. Every time you give yourself what you need, you're helping yourself to shine bright. You're helping yourself to express yourself in the most loving and confident way for yourself. This is really beautiful. This is a lot of growth. This pole that I was talking about, you worked from this place before, that I don'ts and I can'ts. But little by little by little, whatever has happened in your life has brought you to some deep self-reflection that you were like, no. I'm not living that life. I don't want that life anymore. I've had enough of that life. I'm not working from that place anymore. I've had enough. No. I deserve better. I'm going to give myself better. And I'm not going to lapse and work from that place that I've been, because I know that that place was serving me at the time and was definitely somewhere that I needed to be to help me get to this point, because without that place I wouldn't have known how I was treating myself, how I was talking to myself, what I was doing to create this weight and heaviness in my world, that nothing was ever feeling right. So everything was always feeling really heavy and hard. Now I'm able to work from this place that I know that I've grown. I know that I have expanded. I know I am light. I know my roots are firmer in the ground than they've ever been. And I know they will continue to push themselves further into the ground and continue to gain strength and stability in my life, because I know that's what I'm walking towards. The 16 is also a 7. So it also tells me that you have been working on something. I do feel that it's yourself, but it could be something outside of yourself. It could be moving, changing houses, getting a better job for yourself simply because you have changed. You are not the person that would let people treat you the way you used to. You wouldn't have... you would have let people treat you before in not the best way. It was very easy for people to take advantage of you or belittle you before. Now they can't do that. But with a 7, it's an energy of perseverance and patience. So you have put the perseverance in, and you are moving into the most amazing place. Because I mean, the goldfish. It's gold, number 1. And it's a fish which is about creativity, fertility, bringing this gold into your world. So I mean, it's exciting. But with a 7, it's this idea that you've put work into this, because you're not seeing the end result. You can sometimes struggle with believing that you're ever going to get there. You are going to get there. Your manifestations are going to come all around you, that you're going to be like, what the hell is happening? How did this happen? How? It's because you did what you needed to do for yourself to bring in these manifestations. It's so nice. So the 7 is the perseverance, but it's also the patience. So stop relying on your old ideas to dictate what you should be expecting in this lifetime, what you are able to receive, and what you, how firm your roots are. Just keep trusting in those roots. Keep trusting in what you've done so far, and keep building on that, because you've already laid the firm foundations. So whatever you build on top of that will not fall. It will not fall. It's impossible to fall, because where you're moving to is giving yourself more, not less. Keep giving yourself more and take actions. Like I said, if you're not in the right energy at the time that you want to take an action, don't take that action at that moment. Bring yourself to that place of a gratitude place, then take the action. It doesn't matter what you're grateful for either. It has no relevance to how you receive. As long as you're in a grateful energy of love, and you take that action, it will come to you. Whatever it is you're working towards is coming to you already. It's just how quickly will it come to you and how ready are you for it when it comes. When it comes, I'm not sure that you're going to be completely ready for it. It's going to be like, wow, it's wow, wow, wow. But the enjoyment of it, you will feel wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. The world is your oyster, and it's just for you to decide what it is that you want. What it is that you want, walk towards it and trust that it's yours. That trust is really important with the 16, which is a 7. Trust that it's yours. That trust is the most important thing here, because that trust will help you to keep putting the energy into yourself that you need to. It will help you to express yourself honestly when you need to. It will help you to shine as bright as you can at all times. It will help you to stand tall in all your glory, because you're trusting in who you are, what you're offering, what you're about, what you have to offer. It gives you everything. And you are this amazing person that has so much to offer. You just haven't believed that previously. Now you're in that zone of getting to that point of really standing tall in that belief of, I've got this, and being open to receive, because I know you're the giver. This is definitely a Jack energy. I know you're the giver. I know that your habit has always been to give, but it's very nice to receive as well. It can't just be about giving. The universe is this constant give and take, give and take. If you're only giving but you're not receiving, it means that you're not really in the flow of the universe, because there is this constant give and take. So you have to be open to receive. So I'm going to go back to the song. Ooh, I'm open to receive. Ooh, ooh, I'm open to receive. I know that I am worthy. Yes, I know that I'm enough. Ooh, 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 I am open to receive. The full-length version is on the channel. All right, guys, have a wonderful week being you, in all your glory. The world is your oyster. Oh, shine bright. There's another song on the channel as well, Shine Bright. Can't remember how it goes now because I've got open to receive in my head. But yeah, you are going places, and enjoy the places you're going to. Allow them to flow to you. Don't spend too much time in, I can't, I don't, I don't like. Keep working towards what you're creating that you want in your world. Take care, guys. Bye.